Hey guys, I'm Kim Wade, Inner Gaze Yoga and founder of Lighten Up Yoga for Weight Management. Welcome back if you are coming back, or welcome if you're new. I work with mostly women who are caretakers, who are really super good at their jobs. They're really good at taking care of other people, but not so good at taking care of themselves. Most of them are overweight and they're totally overburdened. And they know how to lose weight. They know what they're supposed to do. They know how to eat and how to exercise. And they've signed up for a million different programs, and they are tired of it all. They want something different, and that's what I offer. I offer a different way of approaching weight management, because my philosophy is when you manage your thinking and you manage your emotional life, the weight really does fall off. It's physical weight, but it's also mental and emotional weight too. So that's what I do. So I'm not trying to sell you all my programs. I am knowing that this stuff works. It worked for me. It works for my clients. And so I just want to give you a series of videos, free videos for you to ponder, and hopefully something will sit with you and resonate with you, and you'll be able to make some really important shifts in your life. I am so grateful that there are people like you out there, that there are people like me out here, that we are looking to our neighbors, and we are looking to the children and to the older people and to the people who are serving and to the people who are needing our help. And like Mr. Rogers always said, look for the helpers. And so I want to help the helpers. I want to help you feel better about where you are and how you are in your body. So, okay, welcome. So today's topic is it's called, I've always been fat. 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 Like, that's just the way I am. I've always been fat. And if you define yourself that way, how in the world could you ever lose weight? Like, you can't lose weight and say, I've always been fat. So my background is lots of struggles with addiction, pretty heavy hitting childhood, lots of trauma and abuse, lots of therapy, talk therapy, physical, like yoga practice, a lot of EMDR, a lot of compassion, a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of letting go of relationships that didn't work. I've been through it. I've been through it. I've had my many, 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 many nights on the kitchen floor not wanting to get up. I've had my sort of sitting in that dark spot. So I know, I've been there. Okay. I have been there. And what really worked for me is what I'm giving you right now. It is a awareness of the thought pattern and making those shifts. I want to be really super clear. Those things happened to me. Those bad experiences, those people that didn't have my best interest at heart, all that really truly happened. And I have tremendous gratitude for my getting out of those situations. And I have tremendous compassion for myself that was hurt. And really, I have done my work around that. I really have. And I continue to, and I always will, right? Lots of that. But to stay in that mind frame, to stay in that victim mentality, to stay in that wound and live that story over and over and over and over does not serve me. It does not serve me. And if I stay that way, it doesn't serve my children or my loved ones or my partner or my clients. Staying in that mindset hurts not just me, but everybody I touch, because I'm not living to my full potential. So shifting the mindset, thinking about what you think about, knowing that thoughts become things. How I think is how I feel. How I feel is how I act. And how I act is how my life shows up. So that really is the work here. So if you are walking around going, I've always been fat. I've always been fat. Everybody in my family's fat. I just love pasta. I'm just going to eat, at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. That's just who I am. Or I don't have time to make breakfast. That's just, that way of living and defining yourself and explaining yourself. Could you really lose weight? I mean, really? When you think that way, when you see yourself that way, could anybody with that belief system, lose weight? Could that person who just, I've always been fat, really get up at 6 in the morning and start to live in a different way when the absolute definition of yourself is, I've always been fat? It doesn't work. You cannot have both. You cannot define yourself as a person who's just always been fat, kind of a hopeless case, and expect yourself to stick to a diet plan or stick yourself to a workout plan. There's just no way. No way. So what you have to do is you have to change the way you see yourself. You have to change the shift. So again, back to me, those things happened. Those things happened to me. I can't deny those happened to me, but I don't have to keep looking at myself as that poor me, poor me. I can look at those things and feel my power now. I can look at those things now and have, that is what gave me the compassion for others. I can look at this as the way I built to be the amazing, wonderful, amazing, lovely, great, perfect thing that I am as I am right now, so that I can move in the world as I need to be moving in the world today. At my most joyful, my most happy, my most giving, my most of service, my most peaceful, even when I'm alone, that sense of peace, by changing the way I look at myself, not denying the story, but just not living in the story over and over and over and over again. Okay? So your homework today, if you choose to accept it, is to get a pen and paper. And let me stop, pause. My work, my system is about writing. And I know a lot of people don't like to journal. A lot of people don't like to journal because either they're afraid someone would read it, so burn it. It's gone once you write it, or they just don't like it. And I will be bold enough to say that if you're not actually doing the work in the writing component, you're not doing the work. You're not doing my work, because it is in that sort of brain drain. When we think about it, we kind of stay on the surface level of our thoughts of like, I know I think this, I know I think this. But when we write down, when we are forced to kind of go out of that uncomfortable, or out of that comfort zone into the uncomfortable, we start to see the unconscious thoughts come up. That's where the work is, that sort of driving unconscious thoughts underneath. So you got to do the writing. Burn the paper as soon as you finish it, but you got to do the writing. Okay, back to this. So 3 minutes, all the way up to 7 minutes, just write and write and write and write how you see yourself. I've always been fat. I'll never be below a size 14. Everybody in my family is fat. I'm not giving up the pasta. I think skinny people are unhealthy, or she needs a sandwich, or all the stuff that you think about yourself and the way you sort of describe other people. Just vomit that stuff out, all the way out. And then, as always, take a pause, step back, look at what you wrote, look at how you define yourself, look at how you see yourself and how you describe your reality. Could that person really, 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 with that mindset, ever be successful at losing weight, or changing the way they do things, or learning a new way, or evolving and expanding in a way that they want to, when they continue to think that sort of anchoring, stuck, negative thought pattern, right? No. We all have these thought patterns that don't serve us. Everybody has them. What I'm hoping you learn, inner gaze, you look at yourself, you look at what's happening, and then you step out and go, that doesn't serve me. That's an old thinking pattern, or that's a stuck thinking pattern. And it served me at one point, but I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm going to little bit of a shift, change the way I think about myself. And that's going to free me up. That's going to lighten me up a little bit so I can make the changes. For example, instead of saying, I've always been fat, say to yourself, I've been fat for a really long time and I'm leaning into shifting into healthy habits. Or I've been fat my whole life and I really like pasta, but I also really like crunchy salads during lunch. You know, open your mindset a little bit. Instead of staying closed, open up a little bit and start to bring in sort of a new flavor of the ways to look at things. Instead of it only being about the negative, how about a little bit of the positive? Okay? So again, write it out, blow it all out, and look at what you think. Could that person ever be successful? Or are you again just in this pattern where there is no hope on getting off? Okay? I hope this is a benefit. Again, you can lighten up. You can lighten up. You can lighten up your physical weight and your mental weight and your emotional weight just by being aware of what's happening in here and being willing to open to a new way of thinking. And things will just fall off. Weight, heaviness, heart heaviness, mental heaviness, that sense of overwhelm, that burden, that fatigue will lighten up. It will lighten up. We're not denying anything. We're not saying it should be easy and your life is so great right now and you have all the time in the world. We're not making it up. We're just saying, how do you want to look at it? How do you want to look at it? You know, from a scarcity position or an abundance position. And for me, I always say, gosh, which one feels better? I spend a lot of time not feeling good. I want to feel good. I want to feel joyful. How can I look at it where there is more joy in my life? There is more peace in my life. There is more safety in my life. There is more love in my life. That's the way I want to see my life. Okay? All right. May this be a benefit. As always, namaste.